Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video I'll be assembling and painting this build and play toy I found online. It's designed for ages 8 and up, it's in 1:72 scale and it's a German assault gun. Now this appears to be designed as a self-assembly toy, but I'm curious to see if it'll pass for a cheap model kit. So inside we have a bag containing all the parts, and there's not a lot in here. There are 4 main components plus a small plastic sprue and 2 rubber tracks. There's also a leaflet showing off the other tanks in this series, and on the other side of that are the 3-step assembly instructions. I'm going to start by cleaning it up, and that means removing the sprue tabs. And right off the bat I've noticed that this plastic is quite soft and bendy. But once I've done that, I prime everything in grey primer. I figured it would be best to do this prior to assembly, so that way I don't get any paint on the tracks. Then I chose to coat everything in German grey. And once that's dried, I can go ahead and remove all the parts from the sprue, and these require a little bit of touch up afterwards. The first thing I assemble is the hatch on the top of the tank. This is held into place by a hinge so it can open and close, although I found it to be quite tight so I just forced it shut. Next I put the main cannon into place, and this is also hinged. I just need to peg on this cover plate so it doesn't fall out. On the top of the tank on the left hand side are 2 sets of rails, and those held in place with some super glue. As up until now everything has been held in place with friction alone, but these parts are just too loose and need a little bit of help staying in place. And the same goes for the set of wheels for the sides. As I apply super glue to the pegs, push both parts together and hold in place until they're set. Then it's just a matter of pushing on the rubber tank tracks. These are quite a tight fit, but they will eventually slot into place. Then it's just a matter of lining up the top and bottom parts of the tank and pushing them together. Although no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't close up the gap at the front. So I tried to file down or snip off anything that could be causing an obstruction. And despite all my efforts, I couldn't find anything that worked. So I just had to accept the fact that this was actually a toy and not designed to be precise. So I went ahead and glued both halves together and looked for another solution. I took a strip of styrene and cut it down to size, and I was going to use this to fill the gap. So I just need to carefully brush on some super glue and then slowly slot it into place, because the last thing we want is for it to fall inside the tank and lose it. And then once it's perfectly aligned, I can paint on some primer, followed by some dark grey paint, and blend it in with the rest of the tank. To help bring out all the detail, I dry brushed on some light grey, and this caught on all the edges and raised areas. I then brushed on some colour pigment, concentrating on the lower half of the tank. I used a dark brown and a sandy colour to represent all the dirt and grime, and then sealed it all in with a matte sealer. And there we have it, our completed build and play German assault gun. So it just goes to show that something that's designed to be a toy can be given a bit of an upgrade, and won't look too much out of place in the army of a more serious modeler. Because you could go further still and drill out the barrel of the gun, or add an aerial, or add some decals. But if you look close enough you can start seeing all the flaws and gaps, as some of the pieces don't quite fit together. But I thought it was a good experiment, and it just goes to show that you can take a bottom end kit and do something more with it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if I can do it, so can you.